Welcome back to PM Express. We're still discussing Ghana's B plus rating by Fitch, and we can't continue the program without drifting our attention a little bit to the issue of the depreciation of the local currency. So in the face of the depreciation, the falling nature of the city and this rating, how does that affect businesses in general, including the aviation industry? Mr. Kweku Nchibosiako, depreciation of the city. In the face of this new rating, we still have problems with the currency.
Well, it's a big worry for us, but what Fitch seems to be saying is that the measures that the Bank of Ghana has put in place appears to be working to have stabilized the currency maybe over the past month, and they forecast that the measures will continue to yield
proper results, good results.
Proper good results to bring down the exchange rate situation. Now, for us, the effect really is that if, for instance, in January, you were charging 70 cedis per seat, when the exchange rate was 1.5 to the dollar, maybe you were getting $46 per seat. Now, in July, August, September, the same fare, gives you $36. You lose $10 on it. Meanwhile, all your payments, a lot of your payments, let me say, whether it's for lease, whether it's for spare parts, whether it's for salaries for expatriate engineers and pilots, you are doing all of this in dollars. So you either have to increase your fares to compensate for the exchange loss, or you take a hit on your profitability, which either way you lose, because if you increase the fares, passengers are going to complain, some are going to stop flying, and you lose. If you take a hit on your profitability, you lose. Either way, the depreciation of the cedi is not in our interest as airlines. So we will hope, and I probably expect that the projection by Fitch is going to materialize. It will be in our interest, really, if the Bank of Ghana measures take good effect and bring down the exchange rate to a level that at least allow us to sell in cedis and still be able to be competitive, to be able to meet our foreign commitments and still be able to make some profit.
And stay in business.
Stay in business, obviously.
Mr. Gachi, if you're there on the line, earlier when we started the discussion, you did mention that some of the key macroeconomic issues that are considered in arriving at this rating is forex exchange movement. We discussed that. Now, yeah. I also said that our local currency is not doing too well. So, in the face of this new rating, and in the face of the policy measures that are in place by the central bank, should we still trust that despite the good rating and the falling cedi, we will be all right?
Yes. If the policies continue to work the way they are doing currently, then we believe that we will see more deepened stabilization as we go along the line, and that will yield very much to our benefit because with depreciation, especially the unpredictable one, it affects your planning, your cost structure is thrown out of gear, and it affects everybody, businesses and individuals in the country. So we are only hoping that these measures will work well for all of us. But we need to quickly indicate that people, especially our politicians who want to manage the economy and those who are managing the economy, ought to be aware that the financial market in Ghana has grown and developed so fast to the extent that the exchange market has become a huge market on its own. And what it means that various players have entered into the market, and speculation become one of the means by which people want to make gains. And we do not want to hear astute politicians who are trusted to begin to be forecasting what the exchange rate will be in the future. And when you begin to do that, you are supporting the speculators to actually worsen the plight of the city, and all of us will suffer by it. Remember, I say when we normally get out of election, the cost we all bear in trying to stabilize the system is so huge that we do not want to continue to be dealing with this cycle of bearing a cost that we are not supposed to be bearing.
But, Mr. Kachi, can we ever manage these speculations? Are speculations not really part of the whole economic dynamics?
Yes, it's part of the economic dynamic, and the market must check it all the time. But the point I'm trying to make is that we want to have silence speculated in the market. But where you see people who are well known, are trusted in the economy, and they begin to speculate together with the unknown speculators in the market, that is not the best, and it worsens the situation. It drives them along, and that is not the best for the market, and it will weaken the city further, which is not the best. And that is the point I'm trying to make.
Right. So I mean, I don't wish to be a doomsday prophet, but in the event that these measures put in place by the central bank fails, that they fail to bring long-term results in stabilizing the city, what then becomes of this new rating? Are we hoping that we will sustain the B+ in the next rating?
Well, we need to do our best to sustain it and even go to the A's. The point is that they will review the economy from time to time, and if the indicators that show that we should get a B+ are still there, they will give us. If they are not there, they will not give us. So we need to work hard. We need not go to sleep. The things we have done that has actually brought us to this place, we need to keep doing them even better in order to get a better rating. Because a better rating, as the gentleman in your studio talked about, brings a lot of positive benefit to all of us. So looking at that, we only hope that we should do what we have done so far to maintain it.
Mr. Kachi, let me get a pointer from you. Do you think our economy is better than, let's say, 4 years ago?
Of course, yes. The economy is better than 4 years ago. The growth rate is better than 4 years ago. The level of economic activities in the country is better than 4 years ago. Let's take even the injection of oil into our economic structure. Let's go to even education. Can you imagine the number of training schools that have emerged? At least there is exchange of money and knowledge in that area. That is very huge. There are a lot of people who are coming because they want to engage in auxiliary business activities related to the oil industry. So from business point of view, the economy is far, far better than 4 years ago. We have talked about revenue mobilization, is far, far better than 4 years ago. The outlook and the confidence of the Ghanaian that we're entering into a prosperous future is better than 4 years ago.
And this is as a result, you would say, of prudent economic management by the current government, right?
Of course, I would say so, but I don't think that any government will get 100% for managing the economy. And we must also note that building an economy or managing an economy is just a building process. So those who have managed before have actually brought it to a certain level, and I do not think that anybody has come to start at the scratch. They only build on what has started, and then that is how we should continue building the country. And we are not saying this to say that the glory is for a particular person or a particular group of people. It is a building process. The positives are being built upon, and the negatives have been worked upon, and then the good signs are for all of us.
Right. Before I let you go, give us 2 consulting advices of how we should manage the economy from now till 2013.
Unfortunately, I will not give a consulting advice because you will not pay me.
Right, so
anyway.
I mean, let's take it out of the consulting. Give us 2 things, 2 key things that we should be looking out for to move our economy continuously into growth in 2013.
Well, I think we need to focus our investment in key driving sectors of the economy. We shouldn't just make any haphazard investment in the economy. We should target areas that will bring the growth: agriculture, must be retargeted because there are a lot of opportunities there to bring about the growth and employment generation in the economy. ICT sector has not been fully exploited. We need to focus investment in that sector. Then again, with our status as middle income economy, we need to mobilize more tax revenue than ever before. And that should be focused now. If not so, we will only wish and we will not attain what we want to achieve.
Thank you very much, Mr. John Gachi, economist, for your time here on PM Express. And Mr. Kweku Nchibosiako, I'm giving you a few minutes to tell us what your expectations will be from now through to 2013 if Ghana sustains the B+ Fitch rating.
Well, our expectation will be to maintain low, the exchange rate to be stabilized, indeed, and also for cost of doing business to be cheaper, because for us, low cost of operation means we can reduce fares, and then reducing fares means a lot more people will be willing and able to afford to travel by air, enhance their productivity, and generally contribute more significantly to the economic growth of the country. So we expect cost of borrowing to go down if we sustain this kind of rating, and in doing so, of course, we will enhance our own profitability and sustainability. So
looking ahead, you think the next 2 to 3 years is positive for the growth of your business?
I do have that expectation, because the trajectory from 2010 in terms of the airline industry is
good.
That it is on the up, and we can only hope that it will maintain that trajectory.
Right. Well, he says that the trajectory in the airline industry is good, and the economy, Mr. Gachi says, is doing well, and no particular government should be taking all the credit for it. My name is Stephen Enti, and thanks to you, John Gachi, economist, for joining us, and then Kweku Nchibosiako, who joined us in the studio. He's a commercial manager from Amtrak. We were unable to raise Richmond Kwesi Tuahene, who we were earlier expecting to join. He was coming to us from the National Banking College. My name is Stephen Enti, and thanks for your time on PM Express Corporate Wednesday. Join us again tomorrow for another engaging edition of PM Express.